Okay, I think I am on air and looks like everything is working. So I'm going to start. Yeah, and today's meditation is the Om, and there's a reason why I do the Om. Yeah, we have difficulty on this planet with the fact that there's a lot of psychicism and false prophets and powers that pull enormous numbers of people into following and getting kind of possessed elementally. They get the energy that they assumed was a guru is actually a pretty bad person with really bad perverted reality and very child molesting attitude, yeah, without any problem doing so, yeah. So the desire process of these people who are in their delusions of grandeur have delusions of grandeur that take place in private that most people aren't aware of, yeah, like Catholic priests, yeah, and people like Sai Baba, yeah. People who are very, very famous, quite often are found out later, to be child molesters, yeah. And the biggest problem is the fact that people are moved. They're moved away from God, yeah, under the interpretation of God. And in the process, they manifest elemental impurity that they're subjected to, but they don't know it. Yeah, it could be in the Catholic Church. It could be in the ashram of Sai Baba. It could be in Bhagwan's relationship. We're talking a million people out there that took a very serious relationship with Bhagwan, and that much, if not half, with that of Muktananda, yeah, and that much, if not more, with that of the people of the prophets, Elizabeth Clare Prophet and Mark Prophet, yeah, and then quite a number of people here in the Shasta area that were involved in the I Am movement and the Masters of Wisdom and the channeling and the ascension process, all small size, but still under delusions of grandeur and influencing the human race in an incredibly negative way. Yeah. It's very psychic and very misleading. So many of those people who fall into this are really good people. Innocent, clean, decent people. Yeah, little children, decent. About how clear can you get? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years old. And you're going in with blind faith, and you're going in with psychicism. You don't know that it's all rooted in psychicism, and that all the phenomenon of our past, if we go back to Rome, if we go back before Rome, every single thing is done in a ceremony of magic. Everything. That's how you get your power. That's how you get where you're going to go. Yeah, you sacrifice an animal. Yeah, you sacrifice a person. Yeah, you get to where war is nothing because you've sacrificed so many people. Yeah, and now you do it because you're going to protect a country. Yeah, and you're just following. Yeah, it may not even happen. Maybe you're just causing an aggression. Yeah. So all the influences that go on in psychicism, a lot of them stem from these false prophets. Yeah. We look out into the world and we go, wow, how did we have an instant manifestation of homosexuality? And people wanting to cross-dress and become gender transgender, and now multi little letters to go with this gender process. You know, TGIF. You know, I mean, it's crazy. Yeah, it's crazy. You know, when you went blind and you got perverted and it happened and you reincarnate, yeah, and you don't get it clear, and it keeps happening because these priests are still running around. Been doing this for nearly 2,000 years. Yeah. Yeah, a lot of people put their faith in those priests, you know, in that Pope. Yeah, wars were started, you know, people were sent out to capture witches and warlocks against the church. Kings and queens fell down on their knees to the church. All over the world. Yeah. Kings and queens can't stop being king and queen because they have an agreement with the force that made them king and queen. And if you go to England, you'll find a rock sitting underneath the throne, and that is the rock of the devil. And it's a talisman, a satanic talisman that sits under the throne seat of England. Every time a king and queen sits on that, they take pledge as being the king of earth, yeah, a representative of Satan. Yeah. But yet they say, I am a representative of Jesus Christ, authorized by the church in this holy church, on this holy chair, by this holy man with this holy scepter, putting this holy crown stolen by unholiness in India. Yeah. The stone that sits in that crown comes from the brow center of Shiva. The most beautiful Shiva statue in India. It's thousands of years old. Yeah. Very blessed. Very blessed. And they went in, and chiseled it out, and handed it to the queen because that's the king. Not Satan. Yeah. But the Lord himself reincarnating. Yeah. So on her head, yeah, is the brow center, not a crown. Yeah. A fifth ray. Concrete. I am the empire. Yeah. We shall conquer. We shall take your country. Yeah. You shall pledge to us, and you will pay taxes. We will own your land and your people. Does it make sense? Yeah. And people just go, oh, yeah. I mean, what can you do? They'll fight the shit out of you. Yeah. They're a little island, but they're ran by Satan. And it's not the people. It happened a long time ago in Gaul, in Rome, by putting Jesus on a cross. Yeah. All of this is involved in the relationship of kill the king, kill Jesus. He thinks he's the king. Can't have anybody thinking he's the king. Yeah. Can't be another kingdom. Yeah. It's ruled by us humans who are kings. Yeah. Our empires, our powers, our glamours. Yeah. Yeah. So it's that influence from all this time after time after time, whether it be Rome. It's Rome. You go to America and you go to Washington and you'll find the Senate, you'll find the Congress. Just like you walk into Rome, just like Caesar's sitting there and all the idiots are sitting there and everybody's saying what they're saying, the people don't matter. It's not any different. You still pay taxes. They're doing exactly what they did then. There's been no evolution. Yeah? Because of keeping Christ out of the picture. Yeah? Yeah. It is the false prophecy. It's the process of false prophets. Yeah? They come as tyrants, they come as false prophets, they come as little Hitlers, they come as, great big rock and roll stars, whatever it takes in order to reach your solar plex and get you to reawaken that pledge that was made once before. Yeah. So why would anybody follow Jim Jones? Yeah. It doesn't make any sense, but there's a whole lot of people that did that. How is it possible a man, LaVey, can set up the Church of Satan in the city of San Francisco, and the mayor doesn't say anything about it? How's it possible? Yeah? No one said anything. Yeah? Even Rosemary's Baby used LaVey to play the part of Satan in the rape scene of Satan with the mother of Rosemary's Baby. Yeah? Just to get a real effect in. This is a real Satanist who runs the Church of Satan, who wrote the Bible of Satan, out of San Francisco. Yeah. And that's one of the biggest churches in the world now. It doesn't have to be a building that's on the internet. Yeah. An enormous amount of people follow it. Yeah. Yeah. And all the people who follow the relationships to Sai Baba, you look at a character like that and you wonder, he's pulling a freaking golden egg out of his mouth. How is it possible anybody's going to believe that? Look at this. Here somewhere. Yeah, that's Bhagwan. Here we go. Yeah. It's normal. This is normal, people. Normal. Went on for years. Okay. Cool. Golden egg. Cool. Gotta be cool. Gotta be golden, right? And wow, came out of his mouth. He regurgitated and created a golden egg inside of his belly and upchucked it, right? Yeah, that happens. Well, it happens a lot. Hundreds of times this guy has done that. Hundreds of times. And there's a lot of people who question it, and they should, Yeah, because he's not that good at magic. And they proved it when they took a close-up picture, and they got that. That's him palming. Every magician palms. Yeah, every magician's got somebody on the side handing them something. Yeah, or a place they stash something. Yeah, it's all being palmed. It's all sleight of hand. Yeah, in some way. Well, he's pretty obvious in his sleight of hand scenario, but there's enormous numbers of processes watching people hand him things, one after another after another. Yeah? But it's not just the fact that he's a charlatan magician lying to people. The fact is that people believed it. He went on and on and on. Yeah. Oh, it's a further one. Yay. Okay, there. All right, I'm back. Yeah. So he went on and on and on. Yeah. And during that whole time, he's molesting boys. From the very beginning, he's molesting boys. on an average of 5 to 10 a night. 5 to 10 a night. He's molesting boys. Yeah. Yeah. And he's either rubbing oil on their balls, and doing other things, which is very sexual. Yeah. And when people find out about it, and they do, he just says he's stimulating their kundalini. And they go, that sounds like God. That's what God says, that's what God's doing, and God does stimulate kundalini. But playing with the little 8-year-old balls still doesn't feel right. Yeah. And then kids start saying more. Yeah, about sexual situations, real situations, multiple situations. Yeah. And then I go there. I show up. 1991. Yeah. I go to his place, I grab his foot, I find the demon that's inside and I hold on to it. And I ride that sucker. Yeah. For a long time. Until it's gone. Yeah. When it's gone, the kids rise up with a lawyer 1 year later. In his room, 4 or 5 kids rise up with a lawyer and start telling him they're going to go to the law and they're going to prosecute and they're going to all stand together, and there's a whole lot more. That once they get out there, there's a whole lot more from the past and a whole lot more from the present that was going to step forward. Yeah? Yeah, they never made it out of the room. Yeah, let me show you. Every single child was hacked to death and shot to death. And the attorney, yeah, all in the room in which you just sit and talk with a couch and, have an interview. Yeah. Well, they said the wrong thing. Yeah. And they never made it out of that room. They just want to tell people that all these children are being molested by this man. And they were killed. Yeah. And it wasn't soon after that, but it happened. He began deteriorating. Yeah. He began deteriorating fast. He started aging really quick. He couldn't walk any further. He was in a wheelchair within 2 years. He had lost all of his hair pretty much. Yeah, he was a very dying man. Yeah. And he died about 15 to 20 years earlier than he had prophesied, this nice little prophet. He was going to live a nice long life and stay nice and youthful throughout that time, and no one was going to catch his ass. He was going to be God, superior, and everybody was going to pray to him forever. That didn't quite work out. Since that time, since his death, there are people who still believe, but there's an enormous number of people, even in India, that are just completely letting go. It's too much. Their children are still saying that they've been molested and they can't accept it. Yeah. It's the only way they can fight being homosexual. Yeah. Thinking that, God chose them to be gay. That's why he did that. Because most of them, that's what they fight. Their reasoning as to why it took place is because they're gay. And they're the ones who made it happen. Yeah. Yeah. So these kids, they went through a lot. Yeah. And there's a whole lot of others that go through a lot. Muktananda did a very similar thing. Yeah. Bhagwan, he ripped people's hearts out, using their solar plex in ways you would never imagine. Yeah? And every single one of these people, including this guy, yeah, if you go there today, yeah, when he was there, there's a hospital, a multi-million-dollar hospital in the middle of nowhere, and nobody can pay to go in. Yeah? And there's nobody in there who's supporting it financially to keep it running. So it's just emptying and getting old and lacking function. And all those people, all the villagers, all the people, thousands and tens of thousands of people, yeah, who are living in the support of people who came to the ashram to pray to God, to be in the presence of God, yeah, no longer come back. Nobody. It's empty. Yeah? And all these people are beyond poor. And they got nothing. Yeah? And they wouldn't be in that situation. They wouldn't put themselves in that situation if they haven't been manipulated and their time wasted. Yeah? The influence drawn out of them, thinking that this is what they thought it would be, and their lives would be better. Yeah? India would be better. You know? India is not better. Yeah. America is not a whole lot better. Yeah. It could do better. Yeah. But we have inside of it things that are corrupt. You know, we have fanatical relationships with people like Michael Jackson, you know, heavy metal, satanic music, you know, rock stars. Yeah. It's just pulling on people and causing people to go more and more and more into cult. More gang members are playing rap, yeah, in order to bring about togetherness, a group way of thinking, how much they hate cops, how much they hate women, how much they hate. It's all in the rap. So it's their music. It pulls them together, it unites them. Yeah, that sucks. Yeah, that's cult on a very big scale. That's rap, gangster rap. There's a reason why it's called gangster rap. Yeah? Because all of us in the world of America are suffering from this gangster rap. Our cities are being looted and destroyed. Our schools, our kids, all joining these gangs or are being threatened by these gangs. Yeah? Being pressured. Yeah? To even have this terrorism amongst us, yeah, it's caused by this energy. Yeah? This influence that goes on in the energy of these particular cult-like processes. Yeah? Their energetic field, their process of what they're pulling people into is a group delusion of grandeur, whether it be apocalypse, yeah, whether it be, you know, the coming of God in a very specific fashion on a very specific day, you know, don't pay your bills for the next 10 years because the earth is over with. You know, a lot of people did that. A lot of people went to the top of a freaking mountain and stopped paying all of everything, you know, sold their cars, gave away their shit, you know. And guess what? The next day came. Yeah. It happens over and over and over again because we are constantly moved into these cult forces, and they always are a lie. They're delusions. Yeah, delusions of grandeur. And it never is what they say. Yeah. So people live on the other side of that. They die, they come back, yeah, and they try and put faith into a world where you never know if it's a delusion of grandeur again. You can't trust your politician. You can't trust your priest. Yeah? Does that make sense? Yeah. Yeah. So that makes it all very, very, very sixth ray, and very, very, very fifth ray. Yeah. And it makes it really intense when it comes down to the elemental amount of energy that can be poured into people to keep them fifth ray. Yeah. Keep them analyzing. Yeah. If you put the fifth ray deep into a person, which means that they're just going to stay down in the elemental physical plane. Yeah. Going to stay there, where they started. Yeah. Not get any further than where they started. Yeah. That fifth ray's down in that sacral center. When that happens, that seventh ray, that natural seventh ray that has the ability to relate to people and connect to things and know and discern or even begin any process like that. Yeah. The moment you are in the process where you have someone like Sai Baba and they're doing this trickery stuff where they say things in order to get you moving. Yeah. In that process, they're actually using fifth ray concrete mind. Yeah. An imagery. Yeah. A focus, a way for you to agree. Yeah. Whether it be, someone tells you, oh, we're all going to go up to Star Trek like situation. Yeah. Let's take some death pills. Lay down on the bed and die tonight. Yeah. Because we're going to be transported onto a mothership after this. Yeah. That happened. That really happened. And Jim Jones, those people knew they were going to drink Kool-Aid. They knew it was possible. He made them do it over and over again in process of just in case. Yeah? You should read the stories, man. It's freaking crazy. The process that goes on in so many people's past lives. And it goes way back. If you go back to Caesar in Rome, every single event and every single thing was based on superstition and magic. Yeah? Every single thing. Every symbol, every object, everything was based on superstition and magic. And it all led to Satan. All the symbols, all the magic. Yeah? All the invocations. Yeah? At darker times, it was very clear and very specific. Temples were built. All kinds of things were done. People were sacrificed. Yeah? But as that goes away, it still continues. We have no idea that we're just sacrificing our life rather than sacrificing people. Yeah? We can sacrifice people just by subjecting them to, oh, you're a woman, you don't have these rights. Yeah? Or you're little, you don't have that right. By prejudice and bias. Those prejudices and biases come from those past life processes of superstition and magic. Does that make sense? All based on not only fear, but hate, and jealousy and enviousness and buying your way, through life, thinking that by sacrificing this or that, or forcing someone to live out a life. So many people live out lives they have no choice to. You marry this person, we got to trade you off. Yeah, very common. Seems like impossible now. But it was just 2 generations ago. It was the most common thing in the world. That's cult. Yeah. Yeah. So why I do the Om, is to release us from the influence of the cult. Yeah? It's Shiva. Yeah? The simple influence of Shiva. Yeah? It destroys the influence of the cult. Yeah? If we can just do Om, meditate, and do it in my presence, do it with me, we've got a lot of energy. Yeah? But just by you being taught to do the Om is your first protection. Being able to align to the energy of the Om, the simple aspects of the Om, that influence allows you to allow that seventh ray, to decrystallize the fifth ray. And you slowly but surely dispel the glamours that came from magic, your own doing. Yeah, your relationships and your jealousy or your enviousness, and I got to have this or I got to have that. Does that make sense? Yeah, all those things are stuck in the fifth ray. It's in boxes. Yeah, yeah. Does that make sense? Yeah, because it's important. It's that fifth ray that makes us available to the cult. Yeah, so we got to cleanse our boxes. Got to make sure that all our boxes are empty. Yeah. We don't, and when they come out, they go crazy on us. Yeah, they got all kinds of problems, and they got all kinds of, antsy feelings and nervousness or ways of seeing things. Things change in your emotional body when the box opens. It all comes from you. It all comes from your negative saying something or doing something. It gets stored in that box. Does that make sense? Yeah. So whenever it's time in the cycle, and you don't know what it is. It's out there in this really badass place that they're doing shit, ceremonial magic and crap, and it affects you. And at the same time, you're in the White Lodge, and Christ is here, and he's doing shit, and he's doing ceremonial magic, and it's affecting you. So that energy makes it much quicker for everybody to receive the energy that I'm putting out from this Om, which is the energy of the seventh ray to the third ray. Yeah, just seventh ray to the third ray. Yeah, and it helps in the Om. It helps us to kind of change from our solar plex to our heart. Yeah, just in doing that. Yeah? We don't know that's happening, but it is magic. It is a ceremony. It's part of prayer, but it's so simple. It's without words or without definition. Does it make sense? Yeah. So it's that process that helps people disengage, but it's not a material thing. It's not like, every time I get upset, yeah. Yeah. It doesn't exactly knock it totally out, yeah. But it helps, yeah. If you're doing Om, yeah, if you're doing things, yeah, to calm yourself, yeah, then you're actually connecting to your seventh ray. You're doing things that in order to choose Om, yeah, you have to come from seventh ray. Yeah, you have to. You can't come from the fifth ray because it's too skeptic. Yeah, I don't know, a waste of time. Probably wouldn't do it right. Yeah, all those things. Yeah, just that fifth ray just sits there and keeps you from being holy, keeps you from doing a holy thing, keeps you from accepting that you're a holy person. Does that make sense? It's a skeptic about you. It's a skeptic about everything. Yeah, that's what that fifth ray does. Yeah, so the Om helps you not be a skeptic for a period of time. Yeah, and when you're doing the Om, it releases an influence out of your heart center. Yeah, that you don't really know exists. Yeah, and it's your own soul. Yeah, does that make sense? Yeah, yeah, because it's in that agreement. It's in the process where someone does a spell on you, or and you don't know this is going on, but trust me, it really does go on. Yeah, it really is the past, it really is the present. Yeah, so to dispel glamour, yeah, it requires the Om. Yeah, to completely heal world glamour, it requires the Christ. Yeah, so to dispel glamour in your life, it's the Om. Yeah, to dispel glamour in the world, it's the Christ. So then we do the invocation. I invoke the power, the love, the wisdom of my ashram, soul, and monad. So now you're doing the Om with the Christ. Does that make sense? So now you're going to only take care of your glamour, but you're aware of the fact that Christ is taking care of all glamour. Yeah? And that puts you into the ashram. Yeah? You have no idea that the working out of the plan is the fact of you dispelling your own glamour. Does that make sense? Yeah? Isn't that cool? Yeah? Healer, heal thyself, I say. Read that in a magazine. Jesus Lives. It's a nice magazine. Okay, we're going to do the invocation. Okay, repeat after me. I invoke the power, the love, and the wisdom of my ashram, soul, and monad. To guide me into the right activity in the plan. To clarify and stimulate my mind. To transform and transmute my feelings and emotions. To energize and vitalize and heal my physical and etheric body. So there is a normal flow of energy in my physical and etheric body. Through this day and every day, I ask this in the name of the Christ to serve the One. All in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. And in that life shall I see life. That life is known as love. I am the love of God. I know the Father, and I know His life is love. I am the body and its loving life. I am the self whose quality is love. I am the life of God Himself. The Mother, Father, Son, am I. Behind these three stands the unknown God. That God am I. From the point of light within the mind of God, let light stream forth into the minds of mankind. Let light descend on earth. From the point of love within the heart of God, let love stream forth into the hearts of mankind. May Christ return to earth. From the center, where the will of God is known, let purpose guide the little wills of men and women, the purpose which the masters know and serve. From the center, we call the race of mankind. Let the plan of love and light work out, and may it seal the door where evil dwells. Let light and love and power restore the plan on earth. I call upon the one most high God. To let the disciple know the nature of his Lord of love. Seven, the aspects of love of God. Seven, the colors of the manifesting one. Sevenfold, the work. Seven, the energies. And sevenfold, the path back to the center of peace. Let the disciple live in love and love in life. the expression of divine intelligent awareness. The soul is a unity of energy, vibrating in unison with one of the 7 ray lives, and colored by a particular ray of light. The personality of the soul is the embodiment of love, applied intelligently, producing an attractive form which will serve to express that loving intelligence. The soul is intended to be the embodiment of divine purpose, applied in great active creativity, which produces the power of creative love. We are born of the love of Father for the Mother, of the desire of life for form. Express the love, the magnetic attractiveness of God's nature, and the responsiveness of form nature. Consciousness itself of the awareness of deity in life. I am a messenger of light. I am a pilgrim on the way of love. I do not walk alone, but I know myself as one with all great souls, and one with them in service. Their strength is mine. This strength I claim. My strength is theirs, and this I freely give. A soul, I walk on earth. I represent the One.
has gone. I am that past. It makes me what I am. The future comes. I also am the coming destiny, and therefore I am that. The present flows from out the past. The future colors that which is. I make the future also by my present knowledge of the past and the beauty of the present, and therefore I am that I am. Within the circle of the will of God I stand. Without the radius of the world of glamour I take my place, and there I stand. Before the open door that just reveals a different lighted way, I take my stand. Before the presence, I will take my place, and there will firmly stand. And stand I see. Love is the incentive of our aspiration on the path. Love is the substance of our living in the world. Love is the light and the light of freedom from all creatures. Love pulses through the universe in a divine rhythm. Love is the consciousness of God. May the holy ones whose disciple I am show me the light I seek. May all mankind, may all humanity of all knowledge, may all light on earth make manifest the soul in all things, all life. I invoke the radiant golden sun to manifest the thread of the soul into the kingdoms of the elementals, into the kingdoms of the vegetables, the animals, into the the astral plane. I invoke all humanity to become the caretakers of the kingdom of God. I invoke the will of God as the soul. I stand before the judgment seat of my soul. I am that soul. All love and light am I. I serve the world and lose myself in service. This is my life, and this is the way that I will tread until the day be with us all. The family of humanity, to bring forth points of energy within themselves, inaugurating certain new techniques in work and in modes of communication. I invoke the group of telepathic communicators. I invoke the group of trained observers. I invoke the group of magnetic healers. I invoke the group of the educators of this new age. I invoke the group of political organizers. I invoke the group of the workers in the field of religion. I invoke the group of scientific servers. I invoke the group of psychologists. I invoke the group of financiers and economists. I invoke all creative workers as the new group. I invoke the externalization of the inner existing of conditions within these groups through the manifestation and the externalization of the avatar. of touch, and the first ray as the finger of God. I invoke the sense of sight as the third ray, as the eye of God. I invoke the sense of taste as the sixth ray, as the desire of all the nations. I invoke the sense of smell as the fourth ray, the beauty of revelation. I invoke the sense of intellect as the fifth ray, as the knowledge of God. I invoke the sense of intuition as the second ray, the understanding of God. I call upon the synthesis of the seven rays to be expressed through your personality. As the first ray of ideas, the mental body, the purpose, your life. Second ray of ideals, the astral body, and your quality. The third ray of idols, your physical body and your form. The fourth ray of the fourth kingdom of humanity in balance. The fifth ray, the third kingdom, the animals. The sixth ray, the second kingdom, vegetables. Seventh ray, the first kingdom, minerals. I call upon the relationships of all the kingdoms to penetrate the personality of humanity and express its collective soul. The seventh ray and the fourth ray as the mineral kingdom. The second ray, the fourth ray, and the sixth ray as the vegetable kingdom, the third ray and the sixth ray as the animal kingdom, the fourth ray and the fifth ray as the human kingdom, the fifth ray and the second ray as the egoic soul, the sixth ray and the third ray as planetary lives, the first ray and the seventh ray as solar lives, penetrate the planetary, to bring forth the geomantic relationships of the soul, to integrate the egoic ray and the personality ray of each nation, and to express its true expression, to make manifest peace on earth as one living body of God. Bring forth its fourth ray of personality and to integrate its first ray of soul to manifest the hidden light. I invoke China to bring forth its third ray personality to integrate its egoic soul into its first ray, to manifest as the indication of the way. I invoke Germany to bring forth its first ray of personality, to integrate its egoic soul of fourth ray, to preserve the truth. I invoke France and its third ray personality to integrate its fifth ray of egoic soul to release the light. I invoke Great Britain and its first ray personality and its second ray egoic soul to bring forth its service. I invoke Italy and its fourth ray personality to integrate its sixth ray soul to carve the two paths. I invoke the United States and its sixth ray personality to integrate its second ray soul to light the way. I invoke Russia and its sixth ray personality to integrate its seventh ray soul to link the two ways. I invoke Australia and its fifth ray personality to integrate its fourth ray soul and serve the lighted way. I invoke Spain and its seventh ray personality to integrate its sixth ray soul to disperse the clouds. I invoke Brazil and its second ray personality to integrate its fourth ray soul to hide the sea. I invoke the entity of this planet, the planetary logos, to incarnate the life and the beingness of this planet. I invoke the expression of the second ray force into both the personality and the egoic rays of the nation and the personality of the egoic ray of humanity, to fuse itself and its light into its healing process. I invoke the esoteric law of solar energy to make manifest the cosmic force of light, love, and peace.
Okay, just relax. Okay, open your eyes. So the influences that I was talking about, the influences that come in from the properties that make people follow these people. Yeah, people like Sai Baba, or even continue going to a church and you have a son, he's being molested and he can't say anything, you know, and if he does, what happens? You know, I bet you there's a lot of times they tried, yeah, but it's the priest. What kind of demonic child are you to say such a thing about a priest? You know, you don't want to go through that, yeah. So, and you can't go to the police because they're all Christians, they're all Catholics. They'll get at you even harder. So, if you're in Rome, you're even in worse shape. You really can't do anything. So, it's not just about devotion. It's about control. It's about subordination. It's about, giving people the delusion that it is what it is. Where in reality, it's totally something else. Completely. If you take the relationship or as Jesus, I knew I was going on the cross. I knew what was putting me on the cross. And I knew that, all this prophecy stuff, but what was getting to me was what was causing it to happen. You could change those things. Yeah. And my abilities was to learn. Yeah. What makes these people do what they do. Yeah. And forgive it. Yeah. Come to its understanding. What really is doing this. Yeah. And it all the way to the last moment, it required that. To the point of just let it be, They're not doing this. Yeah. It's not them. Yeah. It's something else. Yeah. But the influence of what brought it about was the projected delusion of who Jesus was. Yeah. So many people were looking for another Caesar as a Messiah. Yeah. Someone who would rule as a king. Yeah. And go to war if necessary. Start a whole new political forum. Revolt. Take over. Something like that. It wasn't my deal. It's not my array package. It's not who I am. But it didn't matter. Even though I was the person who sat and meditated all the time, people still talked about me. And compared me in their minds to other people. I bet you this is his intention. I bet you he's got a wife someplace. I bet you he's just faking it. I bet you he's just out to get the girls. Yeah? A total... No one notices that all I'm doing is meditating. Yeah? And all I talk about is God. Yeah? I'm not asking anybody for a date. But that's what gets projected at you. Common, normal, human faults. And glamours. Oh my God, the glamours that were projected at me. Let's just rebel up and beat the shit out of these people. Here I'm hugging people, taking on their demons. You don't even notice. You think it's in me to be this other person you're projecting me to be. And that's what put me on the cross. Those people who project me to be somebody who is evil. And I'm not. But in their mind, I'm a lascivious devil. Out to take people for granted. Because that's what people do. That's what Caesar does. That's what the taxpayer does. That's what humans do. How can they see me any higher, any different? How could they get above that? They would project the same crap at me they do at anybody else. So I had to deal with that too. I had to deal with the fact that they're all going to just betray me when they come and get me. Run like hell. No one stick up for me. I knew that. But still, that's what happens. How are they going to do any different? This is scary. What are they going to do? What difference are they going to make? You're going to get them on a cross too. Make sense? People don't see it in the same way I do, and a lot of projection that comes toward me, and I try my best to avoid it by not being in the public, not having friends, not being close to people. Because they project at me as though this is what I'm interested in my life. You know what I mean? These are my goals or something like that. And they just don't know me. They don't know that all I do is meditate. I am on a throne 24/7. I'm just not in the monastery. I'm exiled. But that doesn't mean that I'm not there. But I'm not projected that way. I'm projected as though I'm one of the regular average guys who's out to live a life like a normal average guy. Make sense? Who has faults, who has problems. And I don't have faults and I don't have problems. And it's those projections I have to untie. They're not mine, but they do create scenarios in my life that the same thing happens to you. If you project weird shit about yourself or other people, That's thought form building. And it's just like a flower essence. It's going to come back at you. And even if I don't project them, it's going to come at me because people around me may be projecting. And that's part of me. Make sense? We all have very close karma. Yeah? And I get tied up in it. Yeah? So I went on retreat for almost 6 months to get out for a little while, you know, and keep this thing going, you know, stay alive. But it's that energy, it's that process that makes the difference in the world, is how we project toward other people. You know, that if we can just get clearer in ourselves, we'll find that it just happens less. It's not a part of our nature. It's something that's coming through us, and it downplays the thing. It makes it mundane. Yeah, it makes it lower mind rather than higher mind, a lower person rather than a higher person. Yeah, and you can't help it. You can't help it. Nobody can help it. Yeah, I'm Christ, and I battle it. Yeah, you know. So, and the only way I can deal with it is really staying calm. And then it just clears. Yeah, and it's the same for everyone. Yeah. All right. So, enjoy. Thank you.